GRYSKLL.
I can't even take 10 seconds of self-doubt now, So I limited it to 3. So, I mastered that part.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's a dope way to look at that, yo.
Yeah, it is.
That's genius.
I just got down to about a half hour. You got 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, you gotta get that joke down too.
Yeah, I like that.
How did you get it down?
Yeah, because like you was talking about self-love, in one of y'all episodes, that is one of the hardest things right there. For anybody, especially if you're making music, period, whether you're in the industry or out of it, you're making music, period. You don't want to gauge yourself. You want to find a marker, but you don't want to gauge yourself against somebody you like, oh, you look up to them. You use them as a marker. I might hear this one little bit. Just like the J Dilla. I didn't realize I've heard of J Dilla until I went back. I was like, oh, okay, that track. Mm-hmm. That's why I did the J Dilla, the joint, because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't even really, and I have the record, but I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time right here, boom, which that ties in the Nottz, Nottz breathe air with J Dilla, I breathe air with Nottz, vice versa. The triangle,
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to take those things in, man. But like, even if it looks crazy, like I know I'm forgetting way more stuff than we talking about, but I can remember a time I'm sitting with Doc's Effects. We just chilling out in the parking lot, and they're like, yo, hey, you dope and all this. I'm like, you got videos. Hey, but yeah, man, you just got to take it all in. Shut that little voice down that says, maybe. Nah, shut that joker down, push forward, push through. You'll never know what you're going to create from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
All right. Well, you know how we say this is a hangout, right? So this is a hangout. So it's got like you got to get used to the compliments, used to taking the compliments, because the compliments could lead to the conversation and creativity.
Exactly.
Right. And so I say I shared somebody was that yesterday, Donna, she was on Chop. Just a friend of mine. She was on Chop. But we were in the same class where that same instructor told us, like, the compliments, like, I really mean it. And, so we was in his class, but what me and Donna do, like, we are just chill. So I'll play like some hip hop stuff, or she'll say, Picture of Flame. So I'll introduce the group like some music, like Eternal Flame by the Bangles or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But they were like, oh, that's a funny way of doing it. So me and Donna, we played that I Really Mean It, that Dipset. That I Really Mean It. But these are people that are not, hip hop is, the real hip hop is kind of foreign to them versus like the shallow stuff. But we had no idea that she was filming for Chop while she was she would kick it with us because they can't discuss it. So she actually won last night.
Oh, congratulations.
Right? But I think that's what makes us unique, like GRYSKLL, because the second time around, we're more able to take the compliments and use it and not either let it bring us down or make us, shy away from the competition or like, the task at hand and stuff like that. So this time around, like, people do say stuff. I like what you said, like they really mean that stuff. So, and they want to add on to that creativity more so than just saying like an autograph. Here's an autograph, and like KRS-One say, if somebody asks you for an autograph, give them a T-shirt and a CD and an autograph. You know what I'm saying? So they want they're just working up enough courage to ask you for an autograph, but they really want more of who hip hop is and what all the experience. So man, so yeah, we in great company, man, right now. So like, you know, she is the ultimate freestyle murderer. You know what I'm saying? Won the dial over there. It's a champion. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you coming down and like even telling this story. Oh, the one thing I wanted to ask you is the X-Men universe. The rumor is that he started that's like supposed to be based off of Black culture, like Professor X represented, you know, like Malcolm X the president. Is that really true?
Magneto was
Malcolm. Magneto,
okay.
Yeah.
Professor X was Martin.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's true, Q?
It's what the stories are. I believe Stan Lee said it himself. Him and whatever the other dude's name is, we're coming up with some of these ideas. Like they were actually using civil rights icons as their inspiration, and the mutant movement was, you know, Black people, and Malcolm or Magneto was like, he was more of a separatist, like trying to give mutants their own, you know, space, whereas Martin was trying to integrate and have acceptance. You know what I'm saying? I said Martin. I meant Professor X, but
you said it right.
Martin in the stereo.
But that's the story. I don't know if that was like something that they came up with later down the line, or if that was actually the motivation behind. You know, the world would never know, really. You know.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because it all lines up when you look at the storylines and how some of that stuff played out. You know, like Magneto and Professor X being friends who respected each other, but at the same time were on different ends of, you know, the thought spectrum.
Yeah,
like basically, I'm Magneto, in case you couldn't tell.
No.
Nah, we ain't see that at all.
I'm more Thanos, but whatever.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So you big comic book buff, man? Have you been doing comic books the whole time you've been doing music?
Oh man, I used to be comic book crazy, man. I'm telling how many books back then with the sleeve, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But hey,
you still got
mom
something?
thought, you know, that was mom thought it was you know, time to grow up, and I was like, I look at them now and I'm like, oh, I had that. Oh, how much that's going for? Oh, I never could tell her though. I could never tell her then, because she would have been like, oh my God, you know.
She'd been hurt.
Did she throw them out?
Yeah. Woo, I had it was Silver Surfer, the first edition versus Wolverine. You know,
I still got some of mine, but I don't have a lot of it, man. Like I still got a G.I. Joe #1 that's about this big. It's huge.
Yeah,
that joint's dope. But it's tattered and torn though. It's not in mint condition. I still got a lot in the plastic though. I still got a lot in the sleeves. One trunk full.
I still got a bunch of those myself.
Yeah, yours got thrown away, right, Q?
Well, it was my first collection. I collected some more after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have some of those. Some of them got messed up in the rain when we were moving to one of the houses back in the day, but I salvaged a good deal of them. So some of them are still wrapped in their plastic and shit. So
that was the cool part of having kids, because it kind of gave me that surge of almost an excuse to buy them again and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you said, I didn't open a lot of them this time around, you know? But yeah. Got a lot of McFarlane figurines and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of those too.
Yeah.
I got the medieval collection, the medieval Spawn and the ogre and the dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is it, McFarlane? You said
McFarlane.
Yeah.
Yeah. His company makes some really dope toys.
Yeah. And we don't have it's called Graham Cracker Comics here in Chicago. So they have 1, 2, 3 stores.
That's
like
a store? Okay.
Yeah, across the city, so you can kind of travel like all the way northwest to north, and one downtown. So you kind of like hover around those and back and forth and shit. But
man, now you're gonna make me start going to a few comic book stores. I already peeped out a few, but now I'm gonna have to start going in there.
Yeah.
I don't have a single comic book, yo. Not one.
Crazy. I'm still a comic book nerd. I'm still a comic book nerd on the low though. Like I hide it. Like the kids buy me shit. Like I showed you, I got Thanos. This was a Christmas gift because they know how much I like my comics and stuff. But I got like a Black Panther down there. I got Captain America over there. I got some stuff in the closet. Like, yeah, I'm a little comic nerd.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely have more than a few. So let me ask you, do you know half of the people that comment on your page?
A few. There's
Okay.
a few that know, like, you know, me back in the day.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
some stuff.
Okay.
You know, this might be like one or two that like found me, I guess. You know, like, oh, yo, you used to do this? I'm like, yeah, that's me. You know, but yeah, man. But like I said, I take it all in now. You know, and I just can't see me just putting out something just to put it out. So even if it takes me 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it takes me, I'll select one. But you know, like especially with the whoop, usually I make it like either that night or like the one I made tonight to put out. You know, I never know which one I'm gonna go with. I'll just listen to something, and then all right, I like that. I'll chop that up, make the little videos. You know, have fun with it. You know, send those out. You know.
Yeah, them sitting a part of my week now. I be looking forward to them joint show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that though.
But kind of like what you said, I played, I think the one from last week on the way home, because I'm like about 10 minutes from where I work at. So I can like leave work and like drive and, you know, like blaze up on the way here instead of turning on the radio, because I only have a tape player in that car. But I'll put you on the Bluetooth and just put it on loop. But I'll think that I've done a reel to it. I'll think I was telling them, like, I thought I did a reel to that, but kind of in my head, I did do a reel until I really realized that I didn't do a reel and got to spit it. But I'll listen to it just because it sounds so damn good. Like, shit, it's like you can ride to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, really good shit, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, them joints, I look forward to them Wednesday joints, yo. And now, like, you've been prepping them even more frequently lately, yo. I was like, I'm gonna get on that. Oh shit, there goes another one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I pull them out now just to, you know, something to hear.
Yeah.
You know, or I'll do a remix, something that might pop in my head after I heard like when they're flowing it. I'm like, man, I wonder how Mobb Deep sounds. You know, or it might have that trickle feel of it. You know, I need to do a Lauryn Hill one. I've been itching and craving to do one with a track on there.
Okay.
But
when you work with people like artists and rappers, are you the type to give like like a type of vision, like, nah, don't say it like this, or maybe it'll work if you say it like this, like?
Oh yeah. You want to have that, I guess, that producer feel, you know, because some stuff, you know, especially when you start playing with the syllables and all that, you know, in the different cadence, you might, in this 1 second, like, oh man, you lower that a little bit and then punch out more, it gives you a bigger impact.
Right.
You know, the same way when you're making the track. You know, I'll mute out a certain part and then I'll phase it back in. And it's the same thing, but it gives it a more impact to it.
Yeah.
You know, Oh yeah, man. You know, because I mean, I take in advice just like anybody else. I mean, if you're in the business of creating, you know, somebody got to be able to whisper in your ear, like, hey, you know, because it like I'll use my son. I call him my A&R. You know, if he's going crazy on, I'm like, all right, I'll put that one out instead of the other one I was thinking. You know, even though I might think the other one hit harder, so far he's like batting 100. You know, he'll hear songs that way before his time. He'll be like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's when Michael Jackson was real." He's like, "I like that." I'm like, "Yep, that was one of his big hits." You know, or Marvin Gaye. He'll hear some Marvin Gaye. You know, he's like, "Man, I like that one. Hey, can I get that song?" You know,
I like
yeah,
that.
man. So yeah, I mean, the sport of music anyway it's younger generated, but the older you are, you have more knowledge of it. So you get to spread that around a little bit better. Nobody's either wrong. You know, you just might disagree on, hey, what you like. But at the end of the day, it's still music.
All right.
Yeah, you know, so.
Yeah. Did you say the sport of music?
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, you got baseball, football, soccer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Basketball. But the difference is now you don't call traveling on them no more.
Yeah,
like, that's not travel. That's not double dribble. You don't make your calls on them now.
Oh yeah, football is basketball on some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Man.
There was a concept of the offbeat rapper that I heard a conversation about. I thought that was interesting, and because they were talking about him actually trying to rap offbeat, being that being his thing. And I mean, I didn't hear it, but I just hearing people talk about it, like, wow, that's interesting that he's that courageous. Like, that is that a style? But do you call traveling on that play and just like chump it up, or is there some type of thing unlocked that he's tapping into?
That offbeat shit is tough.
Oh yeah, well,
upbeat. That's right. That's what. Okay.
I'll look at it like quantized. You know, you take the quantizing off, you never know what you get. You know, so you know, hey, that hi-hat is misplaced, but when it kicks in with it, Jay did his best. You know, so. Okay. I mean, you can think about the cadences.
I forget. Mid school is in the room. He like,
hey, what up, man? Yeah, man. I mean, look at all the styles that you think about. White line, how?
Yeah.
And then now you fast forward to Kool Moe Dee.
Wow.
Rakim, you know. And then you got Twister, you know, Mr. You know, like all those different spaces, you know, and, you know, like Rakim with the 3 dots, which to me, that's still crazy. I think that's crazier than my backwards joke, but, you know, but if you know, they started to find ways of getting in between those pockets. And I mean,
ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, like a meteor hit Earth. Rakim. Oh. Wait a minute. I didn't know you can do that. And yeah, I'm telling you guys about the podcast with Marley Marl, Legend Dies or something like that. But Kane described that the way he when he heard Rakim for the first time, he described it like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know he said, I didn't know you can do that or something like that. Like, that's interesting. That's interesting.
That follow the leader. Whew.
Yeah,
I remember when that woke me up.
Jeez, because I was still rocking. Ain't no joke, but he came out with that follow the leader, boy.
Q, what was it about follow the leader that really got you though?
Honestly, I don't really know. I was asleep in the car coming from my grandmother's house. I was in the back seat, like laid out, and I heard this rhythm in my head. Woke up, and then I heard this raspy ass voice, and just the way that it all came together, like, oh man, it was some energy about it, like riding through the streets of Baltimore, being young, sleep, and just waking up to that sound. It just struck me in a way that I had never felt music before, and I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. Like that moment woke me up, like, I'm gonna do that someday. And I to this day I can't explain it, but there was something about that particular, like, I've never really been a Rakim fan, but that particular song smacked the shit out of me. Yeah, like it hit me. And my soul was like, that's you. That's where you need to go.
I think that was if I'm not mistaken, the first rap where you're off the planet.
Is the journey, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't on Earth with them bars, but if I'm not mistaken, he's, talking about the solar system, planets, speed of light, all kind of,
I mean, you gotta think like what hip hop was, at least to me, before that song, that particular song, it was cool. Like I liked hip hop, like it was cool. But that song spoke to me in a way that nothing else had before that. And yeah, like
nothing else hip hop, or nothing else in any other genre.
Nothing else in any other genre, like nothing, period. Like something, the vibe of that song it did it for me.
That was your
like I told my dad and my mother, because they were in the front seat. We were listening to a fucking AM radio station in Baltimore, WEBB 1360 radio or some shit like that. But yeah, like I told my mom and dad, like, my little young ass voice, like, I'm gonna do that someday. Like I just knew it in that moment. Like I loved it so, like I felt it so much that I was like, that's it. That's me right there. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a song that did that for him?
I'm trying to think of it myself. Because actually I was thinking, hell, I didn't even realize the magic of Rakim, I would say, until way later when I started realizing all this other whack shit. Okay. Then it was like, damn, you know what? Rakim was dope as fuck. It was just like,
he was ahead of his time.
Yeah, but I guess coming through, I talk a lot about 88, man. There's something about 88 around that year. And it was like, when you had all of that shit coming at you around that time, it just seemed normal.
Right.
It was almost like everybody's supposed to be like this.
Everybody was dope around that time. Because him and BDP was around the same era when they came through, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who else was 87. Another Fresh Prince was on his second album around then. Whole different genre. Everybody was so different back then. Like, everybody's drastically different from the next group.
Oh yeah, they had their own lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody sounded like nobody else in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was beat formats, they wasn't the same. Even if Marley Marl produced for Big Daddy Kane to
the Symphony.
Yeah, I mean that was crazy within itself also.
Don't do it. Don't do it, she. Don't do it.
The Symphony, huh?
I got hoodwinked once this week, yo. I'm not going to that again,
Ooh.
The Symphony brings up an interesting conversation almost every time here in Imperial. Just to let you know.
Pain all day.
G's still trying to decide which verse is his favorite on there.
Capital A, man. The capital A.
The capital A.
Stay rooting for the capital A.
Look at she.
Stayed with you for a while. Won't go away.
Imperial, what year did you start, man? What year did you start making beats?
Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
I have to say 80, because I started DJing 80, probably 81, 82. Well, I say 82. But within that same time, I was making beats, on the little Casino.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Rhythm, those, the little pocket joints you used to take to school. You can hide those jokers away, make a little beat, clean away. So probably where I really serious, because then, the keyboards came into effect, probably 84, 85. But before that, it was just instruments, till you find out, oh no, you can do all those on this little box right here. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, let me try this out, And just through the time, it got better, but, usually something's gonna lean forward. If you're making beats or you're a DJ, one of them is gonna get a hit. And for me, at one point, DJing, but then at another point, it's still back, the beats start going. But I always wanted to keep that DJ feel, because once they came out with the DATs, they was like, oh, you don't need a DJ, just put that in, pop that in there. And I was like, nah, if I'm gonna scratch, I'm gonna scratch. I'm gonna, play the beat, I'm playing the beat. Because if you slip on a record and you're in a concert, but the DAT is playing, no, that ain't gonna look right. But yeah, I mean, I say probably like 84, 85, where I was like really trying to, get in, but yeah, the DJ, that's the first starter. So that's why I make sure I keep both of those elements even keep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you say you were using back then, Imperial?
That was the first drum machine. That was, well, I'll take that back. The EPS Sonic, before the ASR10.
EPS 16.
Yeah, the Plus, just before the SR10.
SR, yep.
But then that got, you're in the hood, some stuff go missing, somebody showing a little too much, my roommate at the time, I was like, God, just got it. I think I had that thing maybe 3 months, maybe.
Damn.
Maybe 3 months, just getting the feel of it, like, all right, now you back to the Dr. Rhythm. The little pocket joint, But then, start doing a little, shows or whatever. Came across the, where I could get the SR10. And it's like, yeah, this is just an updated version of that. Turn the joke on, I seen it. I was like, yep, got to get one of these. Never let it go after that. No matter what come and go, just for the processor alone, keep the SRT. I always found somebody in California, somebody that repaired, So I was all like, I might have to learn how to repair that joke myself now, just in case.
You MIDI yours up?
Every now and then, but I still hold these.
Yep.
I got a ton of these.
Same.
Ton of these. I'm probably within this week, because I forgot I did a remix for De La Soul. What was it called? It was one of the tracks actually Dilla made, but I was like, I like it, but how would I do it if I made it?
I need to hear that, bro.
Is that Stakes is High?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I need to hear that. You got to find that and put that out, bro.
Oh no, I got it. That one I haven't let go. I still got that one on the drive.
You can email it to me. We only gotta tell nobody else you sent it. I need to hear that.
Yeah, that one, man. That one I still love to this day.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorite remixes I did.
The OC joint is my favorite one I heard so far. The one from Nah, who was it though? You did the Blase over the joint you chopped up from the OC.
Yeah.
Apollo Brown. Yeah.
But in that moment when y'all was talking about that, I was thinking, I was like, man, I need to redo Time Is Up. Which I'm gonna flip that one. I'm gonna flip that one soon.
I think I hit you because I was like, yo, I wrote to this joint, it's not a real.
Oh yeah, I made that one like a year ago, man. I was like,
I remember you saying that was an old joint.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, yeah, because you can't convert once IG go one way, like, oh, well, shit.
That went my demand bag for that one. Y'all trying to get my demand on that, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a Time's Up flip. That'll be coming though.
That'll be dope. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I let you know it's time up just a little bit, but other than that is nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay. I let that little piece. That every now and then I'll chop something, and then I'll let just enough play so you'll know. You're like, oh, okay, that's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back to that. When I flip it.
Yeah, some of those woo joints that you.
That's that DJ
I'm like,
shit right there, yo. That's that DJ tease, yo. Yeah, that's coming. You know what's up next. Hey, there you go. Hey. Go ahead and get excited.
I took that from Pete Rock and Premier. I had a love and hate for when they used to play those little interludes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you not make that into a beat?
A whole song.
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make those jokers in the whole beats. But yeah, man.
Yeah, there was that one that Premier had on that one album. I think it was on Daily Operation. That.
I was just thinking about that.
I love that joint. Yeah, that's one of them that got me. And then on Pete Rock and CL Smooth, their album, Pete had one on there that got me like that too. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, Premier did a lot of on Group Home. He was.
Yeah,
I was like, you got too many tracks to be throwing those little interludes in there.
Man, those were gems.
Yeah.
That commercial on the Group Home album, I remember me and my man, we drove down from here to Virginia Beach and we freestyled over that beat, over that interlude damn near the whole time. We just had that joint on repeat on the CD. So yeah. The little skits. And it was that offbeat joint too, man. I can't remember the sound of it in my head now, but I remember that joint lasted the whole ride. It was like a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, man, that track, that Group Home, man. Whew, the one we had, which I believe I still have the original record, because it's a Spanish cat that's singing on it, and he just loops it. And I was like, which I'm stubborn at the same time, because I could find it if I would put all my records in the order. But I'm the opposite. I like to find the record. You know what I mean?
Chaos. Same.
Yeah, I need that chaos, instead of flipping and go through. Because other than that, I'll just speed through it. If I know it's in slot B, I'll just go to.
Yeah.
But for me, I do, like I said, I have to turn it upside down. I'll go in there. I have to literally, I don't care if I got to go pull out boxes, I got to go in the garage, pull out like eight boxes and go through it. I'm willing to do that because I done that in record stores for so long. It's like that nostalgia feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw it, but Mid asked a good question. What's the strangest sound you've ever sampled, or want to sample, or have you heard of, or have you heard of being sampled? What's the strangest joint?
Well, that's a tough one. Because when I had the SP202, the little boss joint, I used to just ride around sampling whatever sounds wherever I was at, from animals, You know, it's crazy what you catch, you know, when you just riding around or walking around. You know, especially when I was younger, I used to literally, hey, I'll just push record on that joker and catch everything. You know, then I go back and try to chop it up. I don't care if it's a train, you know, somebody yelling at somebody, you know. I used to find ways to, you know, make it work.
That's dope.
But yeah, man, hopefully I can go back and find some of those little VH tapes I got. The little mini 8 millimeter.
If you don't mind me asking, man, how old are you?
Oh, 50, man.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah. A young 50.
I would have never guessed that shit.
Young 50.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't guess that. That's actually, I thought he might have been younger than all of us, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. As soon as he said,
That's why I'm
$80s,
on the math. Like, your homie said he was sampling in the 80s.
right.
Back 3 from that, carried a 2.
I think he the one that ain't got gray on him, right?
Oh, yeah. I had
in
the
the
little,
ballpark.
hey, I done touched all of them. I had the little casino with the little orange tabs on that joker that sampled.
The SK8.
Like 5 seconds.
The SK8. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. Speed it up to one with 98 or whatever, and then slow that joint down.
Oh, yeah. But I always, like, certain stuff, I always break the rules on. You know, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's a machine. I'm trying to put me in the machine to make it work for how I want it to work. And
That's
once
dope.
you can find a way to manipulate like that, man,
That's
like,
dope.
you know, that to me, that's the best way to try to
That's
learn.
a dope way to look. I've never heard it kind of expressed quite like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, because you can look at the manual. It's kind of like you watching an instruction video. How long you really want to watch, you know, the instruction video? You can, at some point you be like, man, turn that joke off. Let me go ahead and see what I can figure out.
Yeah.
You know, and that, no matter what piece of equipment I got, the only thing I probably really read was the SRT, because in that time frame, it wasn't nothing to say, hey, this is how you use the SRT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, only decades later, you're like, oh, Premier used this. You know, the first person I seen use the ASR-10 besides myself was Nottz and DJ Man. And then I come to find out once I was hanging out with Chad, he had one. So I was like, oh, I might as well keep it. Next thing you know, your Premier got one. Timbaland had one. Which, if I would have known that, I would have probably knocked on the door in the studio when we was in the gym. I was like, oh, that would have been a gem right there.
Yeah,
Rizzo was the first person.
ASR had a very specific sound that I really loved. Like it had a certain grittiness to it that nothing else has been able to emulate to this day. To me,
Yeah, it's warm.
I love that machine.
Yeah,
I was trying to actually talk Rashid into building an emulator, ASR emulator for the computer, because I wanted to port it over to the computer so bad. When I first got into Pro Tools and all that, yeah. Because he built the emulator for the old Amiga computer that we used to use to make. I first learned to make beats on a 4-track and an Amiga computer.
I used to borrow that
program to do that. Huh?
I used to
Remember
borrow that 4-track and a computer program. Yeah, that shit used to make the rounds around the whole crew. We all used that shit.
That man, everything. That's what I learned to make.
Emulator in the MP software though?
Huh?
Isn't there an emulator in the MP software?
Not for ASR-10 that I know of. I wanted one that did exactly what Q was talking about. Brought the ASR sound into the PC world. No way.
What's in the? There's in the plugins for the MP software. There's an MPC 60 emulator, 1000 emulator.
It's for all the Akai equipment, but it's not for the. And Sonic made the ASR-10.
Right. I could have sworn it was I'm gonna check. There's another one that's not an MP, but I'll check or if you pull it up, check. So, there's another one that's not an MP.
Okay.
The problem for me is I never actually liked the Kai sound. Like their shit was too clean. Like when Quaz first got his MPC, what was it, 60 or 1000 or 2000 or some shit, whatever it was he got. I was mad as fuck every time I made a beat because it sounded too watery or something. Like it was just too clean, and it used to piss me off.
So you like using sound libraries or the sounds that come with the machines or stuff like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't do
Every now and then.
Huh?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll either play it out to make it sound like a sound, and then I'll go back around and then chop what I just played to make it sound like a real song. You know, like something like I done took off a record.
That's dope.
See, I'm too lazy for that. But I that concept is dope. But once I play that shit, this is what you get, Jack. All that.
For me,
if I'm lazy enough, I'm sending you the stems and you can mix them yourself too. But that did backfire. Like on one of them joints, I got it back. I was like, I probably should have tried to mix this.
That's what made me nervous about releasing music for the longest time. Was I had the first time I went to the studio and had something mixed, it sounded like shit. So I never trusted another engineer after that. Every time I went to an engineer, I was just like, nah, you're not gonna be. And every time I saw somebody's project, how it sounded when they did it, and then how it sounded after they came back from engineer, I was like, it doesn't sound right anymore. So I think I was in that perfectionist bag. So like Imperial, I know you said you kind of dealing with perfectionism when it comes to a project. Is that something that stops you? Is that one of the things that happens to you?
Well, it's a perfection defect because you can make one beat one time and you're like, yo, I don't know, that might be the best one. Next day, make two of them better than that. You know, so it's just picking, you know, that right feel for what the theme you want to go for. You know, for EP or whatever. It's just, do you want to give, you know, like that melting pot, you know, that people pick and choose from, or you want to carry a certain like theme? You want it to be soulful, you know, lo-fi, jazzy. You know, that's the only thing I run into, because I was like, I don't know if I want to go grimy or I want to go with the pain, you know, emotional tracks, you know, that make you feel something without even hearing somebody on it. You know, that's where I run into.
Okay. You got any idea how you gonna get over that?
Just dump it out.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. Just rip the Band-Aid off and just start dumping shit.
Just let it fall out, man.
Yeah, that shit hard though when you used to holding on to it, and you got a certain vision for what you want to put out there.
Yeah. But that's why which one I did the DMX remix that I did I did three different ones. You know, one that I was gonna send him, the one track, the one with the skull, you know, that first one, and then next thing you know, boom, he passed out like, I don't know if you might have to go back hard enough for that one. Where I did him and John Legend as if they were singing together.
Who was it?
For real?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I took a DMX track, and then I put John Legend as if he was singing with DMX.
I don't remember that one. That was kind of recent.
No.
So it's
this was like literally like once they say he had passed.
Okay, that's still relative. I mean, like I've been following you since then.
That was last year.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go look for that one.
Yeah,
I remember something on those lines. Yeah.
It's in there. I think I put something like John Legend on. It's like red and gray. I think the little cover or whatever. But I put it in there if John Legend was singing with DMX, which is crazy, you know.
That is one of the things I appreciate about your joints. So I think we might have talked about this on here before, like the visual value that you get even from your post, yo. Like in addition to the dopeness of the music, like the videos or the visuals that accompany them joints are like just a whole nother form of entertainment. And it's like, damn, don't want to watch that shit or focus on the music.
I try to do that. Yeah. But that stemmed from, you know, like graffiti. You know, before you had all the videos out, you know, you might catching the train or whatever, you know, listening, you had your headphones on, listening to whatever your track was while you're watching the scenery. So I tried to capture a little bit of that.
That's dope.
Yeah, very dope.
You kill those, man.
And you're really proving how lazy I am, by the way. So thank you for pointing that out to me. Now I'm kind of.
Hey, y'all, my track sound good, man.
All jokes aside, that's dope to me. I really do get like when your joints come on, like I really watch them at least twice because one time I'm listening, then I'm going back to see what you did visually.
It's a show.
It's definitely worth the price of admission, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, but sometimes y'all help paint the picture though.
Yeah.
When you remix it, I'll listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I peeped that too. I peeped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with a screen.
Your detail, the level of detail in your post, man. The different, what do they call the animated joints that you put in there?
Yeah.
And then the effects you throw on top of it, like sometimes you have the screen bumping and vibrating and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Split screens.
And then one dress said something about a karate gi, and then you had like the karate dude in the white gi, and like his leg was kicking. I'm like, oh, that shit is. Man, you do it big, yo. So yeah.
Yeah, we paying attention.
Is that your daughter or your son in that mix?
That's my son. You know. Yeah,
that's your son.
Yeah.
Really? Is he saying anything, or is he?
Oh no, he does a little few.
I mean, is he saying anything? And that what is he saying when he put him in
the another banger?
His tag, You said a couple things, right?
Okay, yeah, the tag.
Yeah, he'll say
it's another banger, right?
He'll say, "What's up?" Another banger. Yeah. Then he'll say,
"Okay, what's up?" Another banger. Okay.
Yeah, wow. So that's kind of like my little theme from him, because which I laughed the first time he said it. We was riding around. He was listening to one of the tracks I made. He's like, oh, that one kind of bang. I'm like, hold on. 1 second. Let me record that.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, so which is crazy. It loops around to when my daughter was about the same age. She used to talk on the interludes, of my tapes.
Okay.
Or when I used to send when you used to send beat submission tapes out or whatever, then I would have her, chopping, which I got one. I have to find it. She's I play the flute, which I don't know if I can still play. I probably can. I play the flute and then I chop myself up playing the flute, and I have her humming the tune, because I remember when I called her, I was overseas. And she was like, do, 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 do. And I was like, what are you listening to? She's like, oh, it was something I was watching on anime. It was a little tune. I was like, hum it again. And when I get back, I actually play it out, and that part, I was like, so, everything is sound. I mean, even when you at least think about, like, I could hear, like, sometimes when y'all doing a certain cadence, and the next time I come around, I'll have certain beats that tailor one of y'all cadences. So you actually can help me make the beat just by saying a certain cadence.
Wow.
Where I'll put space in there, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? All right, the next one. All right, D&D he was flowing like this. All right, Run the Dial was flowing like this. Instrumental was flowing like this. Okay, let me make one where it kind of fits in the middle of all of it.
That's crazy,
man.
That is, and it's crazy that you've been doing that, because I just told my lady last week, I just did that for the first time ever. I just made the beat around somebody's verse. I did that for the joint me and Kareem just put out this week. That's crazy to hear that you do that all the time, and you've been doing that. I always been kind of intimidated by that. Like, I don't know about building from scratch off of a verse. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean it takes some getting used to it, but I mean, from the DJ perspective, you know, you're always matching other people's tracks to somebody else's acapella.
Right.
And it's only this time you're making the beat to match somebody else's acapella. You know, so that makes it a little bit easy.
That's a dope way to look at it. That's a dope way to look at it.
I don't have a DJ background, so it's interesting hearing how DJs think and understanding how you guys think, man. And trying to retrofit that with the way I produce. It's real dope, man. Like I had to partner with a DJ when I wanted to get that DJ feel. I partnered with my man Sick, and I had him do the DJ, and I would just sample him on the tables and cut that up and make beats off of that. So, being able to do it as the DJ has got to be, there's got to be a whole nother level with it, man.
Okay. I mean, after a while though, you don't even think about it really. It becomes like second nature, you know. Yeah. You know, like I'm making a beat and I'm thinking of somebody's lyrics as I'm making a beat. So, you know, like I think it's one I did. Well, I did two for Sean Price. You know, I'm thinking of a lyrics that he done said before, and I'll just repeat that in my head as I'm making the beat. So once I do go to match his vocals, they should be right on cue. You know, but yeah, man.
Man, well,
that's tough.
That's dope. That's hella dope, man.
Yeah, I think all y'all as DJs, all y'all got that superpower where you can tell the BPM of a song just by hearing it.
I can, like, I usually can.
I can get close, but I wouldn't say be able to tell it exactly.
Yeah, but I think for me, it's probably more a combination of knowing where I like pockets at for rhyming than it is anything else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, plus, like, there's certain songs that you know the BPM of, right? So if you hear something to me that sounds like it would blend with that, like, all right, yeah, that sounds like it would go, who got the props? Who got the props is 100 BPM. That's got to be somewhere around 100 BPM. You know what I'm saying? But like, we was doing something a couple weeks ago, and I think I posted a chat, like, yeah, that's like 87 BPM.
That's what made me ask the question.
Yeah. But again, that's kind of right in my preferred pocket too for rhyming. So,
right, because you got the triple threat going on. Because you got the producer, DJ, and MC.
I guess you could look at it like that. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Shit.
I don't know.
Like, I think T-Bear pointed this out. Like, most of my beats are in the same key.
Yeah, they all in the same key.
Like, see, come on, man. You could have said most, yo. I'm trying to get myself a class,
But it's not just you, because like I said, when I was going through all the joints that everybody did, all of their beats are in their same key.
Yeah.
So, and that was what, and shouts to Imperial, because I see you rock the Control Z2.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Z2 gang. But anyway, yeah, like you said, once you drop it in Tractor, it tell you the keys.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if I sort it by keys, it'll just be all one to dial beats. And it'll be all somebody else's.
Yeah.
But you can't say that with me though, right?
Huh?
Because I don't even know keys and shit. I was gonna say, I know you can't guess that with me because I don't even know keys. I don't know.
Right.
Nah, but it's not even. Look, I don't even think it's me guessing though. I think it's probably just because that's where I'm so comfortable at.
Yeah.
Like even like the formula for making beats. But it's funny, like to hear him say, I'm like, yeah, I could probably see that now he mentioned. Especially if it's something that I'm making, like I might rhyme to that one day. Because it's gonna be, but yeah.
Do y'all all start beats the same way? Like, do you always start like? I think you said you always start with the drums, right?
I usually try to think of a melody, but then I'll do eighth note hi-hats, and I'll do like just a simple kick and snare pattern, like boom cat, and then I'll try to go back and throw a bit, and then once it starts to build from there. But usually I try to find a melody first, or at least some sound to build a melody. And then I'll do like that hi-hat pattern is always eighth notes to start. And I'll go back and change it, but that's how I start all of them for me.
Okay. Q, you the same?
Okay.
Q, how about you?
I'm random as fuck. I'm all over the board. Like I might start with drums. I might start with just a hat. I might start with a melody. I might start with a fucking sound of a person screaming. I'm just random.
Yeah.
do you have a, I don't know if an end goal is the right word for you as well, Imperial, and you too, Shot, but do you have like, this is what I want this beat to say? Like at the end of the day, your beats have a feeling, right? Do you, once you start, does that kind of start to come into your mind, or do you like, hey Q, this is to you and I, or do you get to the point where it's finished for now, and then it just is what it is?
It's always random for me. I never have a direction or end goal. I just walk up and I just empty whatever's in me. I don't even know I never know what it is when I walk up to the machine, and never know what it's going to be by the time it's done.
After you finish it, do you kind of hear like, all right, like I was listening to something with Alex last week, and he's like, yo, we got to find a way to use this beat. And I was like, I don't even remember that joint. I went back and listened to it. I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds kind of like the celebration after a victory. Like, he's like, yeah, I can see that. I'm like, yeah, that's not what I was going for when I made that. I don't know what I was going for, but that wasn't the target. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't think for me. And y'all?
Like, I think like Imperial's beats for me always give me like real hard head nod. Like, if you're not careful, I might headbutt you, just slide you a quick left hook. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they don't really make me want to fight, but I could probably get there if I had to. Like, you know, it's just that, you know, borderline aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I call him for the most. I guess I'll tag it. I call it most nostalgic instead of nostalgic, because I like to give that emotional feel, like where you either not so much as in pain, but you're hurting from something. So you can find it in the melody, right? Every now and then I'll make like that high energy, you know, like you can work out to a track, but mostly for like, if you're a conscious rapper, you'll always find, you know, that pit in one of my tracks. You know, it's for the most it's gonna be soulful, but I got some off the wall stuff that, you know.
Your drums are always hard as I don't know what.
Yo, and it's funny because when you listen to them like just through the phone, you could hear how well they're done.
Yeah.
But then when you put headphones on, like when I put headphones on to do the reels, I'm like, yo.
Like, damn.
Yeah, it just goes up like just
I still do the old school method though. You know, you got the car, you got a small monitor, you got your studio monitor, and then you got your phone. You know, where now you have the phone, so most of it get played with the phone. So usually, you know, in a car is always gonna. Studio is always gonna. Once you get those flat monitors, and you know you can push it through there. If it punch through there, it's gonna cover everything.
Yeah.
You know, that's like just an easy way. But sometimes I'll drive around, I'll make a couple tracks, and then I'll push them out, drive around, see how, you know, I feel about them. You know, which I'm way better than what I used to be. Because there's so much stuff I done deleted. For one track, for one track, I might have deleted 10 tracks. You know, you'll lose money that way. Because I done had tracks, and you know, I'm like, yeah, I could make it better. They be like, hey man, I like that. Oh shit, you want? You know, but now, like I told you, usually I can go in and make a finished product. You know, start it, finish it, and it's right where I want it to be. You know,
must be nice.
Every now and then, if I get that doubt, I might listen to a track for like the same beat that I just made for like 4 hours and see if it changed my opinion. If I'm still riding with it, then oh yeah, it's good. You know, I'll find somebody else, you know, that you know, a ride with it and be like, all right, no, it didn't fade for me. All right, then you know it's a good track because you're gonna be your own worst critic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know,
that's one of the things about like this joint. Like, it got to the point now, like, yo, if I do something, I'm just share it in here. If somebody gives some feedback, it might get me to work on it some more. If I hear crickets, either nobody saw it or that shit was garbage. So I can be my own judge from that point. But yeah, you know, but I think it's good in a way because it kind of forces you to do something with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, is to me, if you make a track, it's better to try to push, you know, as far as you can go with that track. Every now and then, you might want to step back, especially if you're doing it in headphones, because you know your ears will play tricks for you if they all, you know, got them beats banging in there for like an hour or two. It won't sound the same the next day you wake up and you're going like, oh, I need to remix that jiggle completely.
I need to scrap that motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, so you know, ear fatigue, learning all that, you know. But I mean, half the time I'll make all my beats in my headphones anyway.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Because I have the same pair of headphones. I won't change it, even if they get expired. If I can find those pair, I stay with them.
What you use?
What headphones do you use?
Actually, I use the Beats 2, which
one's the Beats 2?
I'm so used to them.
You said the Beats 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a hard pair of headphones to mix in because it gives you that overlay. Yeah, so for me, I'm so accustomed to it that I'll know once I
work around it.
I'm tuning it. Yeah. Once I don't tune it, I'll know when something sounds flat in it or not. Usually I'll have it down packed, but once I put it in the monitor, sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, that was a little bit too much bass in that. Let me take that down to like 8, you know. But for the most, about 98% of the time, once I have it, I'll have it right.
You mixing phone shot or on monitors or both?
I'll do it in the headphones.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I'm so used to it.
I'm usually in monitors, but I do in headphones sometimes. It's always to me it doesn't matter because I hate every mix that comes out.
What kind of headphones do you use?
For me?
Yeah.
Sometimes I use these stupid Bose things. I know Q gonna yell at me for that, so I'm not gonna say anything else about that.
You know, I
ain't want to. I was hoping you weren't gonna ask me that while Q was on the line, man.
Yeah, my fault. I forgot. I should have. My bad.
I picked up some Sennheisers and I used some Sennheiser open back joints just because I thought that was going to do something, but I just can't get into listening.
Which ones did you grab? Which ones did you grab? Do you know which number they are? Which model?
I don't remember off top. I'll send it to you.
Because I used to like to mix in Sennheiser HD 201s because they were real flat, so there was no real artificial inflation of anything happening. But like they kind of met their match, and finally like shits was disintegrating, air wires and whatnot. I think Cayman got a hold to them right while they were on their last leg. He kind of sent them off to pasture.
Man.
But yeah, I need to try to find another pair. But I like those. I know Q, you said you use like a real high-end headphones, right?
I mean, when I'm making shit, I'm usually using my IEMs. But if I need over ears, then I'm using Sundaras. They lean on the side of bright, but they have a lot of you can basically like get as much bass volume as you need out of them, and I mean they're really good for instrumentals. Like, because since I don't use samples, it's good. It works well for the instruments that I use. They're open backs though, so.
Okay. You telling me something about the way they really enhance the details in the bass too, right?
Yeah. So they're these shits right here. they're planar magnetic headphones. So they're it's like in between two magnets that vibrate a membrane in between them, and that creates the sound. And so you get a lot of detail out of them, like the high ends, like the high stuff, like the hi-hats and the mid-range, like it's really up there. Like you hear every fucking thing. Like they don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like if it sounds shitty on those, then you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And the bass, you can get as much bass out of them as you need. You know what I'm saying? So they're really good. But like I haven't been brave enough to try anything in these fuckers yet, because if it sounds bad in these, like you just throw everything away. So I don't use them yet.
What are those?
The Focal clears.
Damn.
Yeah, he talking.
And Focal makes really good studio monitors. So.
Okay. Oh damn. Okay. Imperial, what are you using for your monitors?
I got the JBL
305s.
Yeah.
I got them too.
Yeah, that's what I'm rocking too.
Yeah.
I go between those, and then
My shits don't sound like Imperials when they come out though.
Your kicks, man. Your kicks are crazy, man. Like I want to know.
Because he got 87 kicks, damn gigs of kick drums, yo. him and Doggone Q over there with infinite drum sound library.
Oh man,
drums are important, yo.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, man. But I mean, the best way to me with a kick, you find that one kick that you like, and you take, like say you take well, it depends on how tight that kick is, because you can shift, if you layer, shift that one kick that you love so much, layer it on top of it, and even sometimes reverse the layer, and you can get a different sound out of that kick.
Word.
Or you shift, like say, I got a kick that hits that first second, but because I got this one longer kick that I like so much, I might shift it, just enough to give it that impact, to make it sound different. Then, I mean, you can throw a little EQ on there, and that'll change that whole one kick that you've been using almost like forever.
Yeah.
I wish I would have figured that out.
I got lazy.
All the other kicks
up. I almost never use my drums stock. Like the way that I just sample them and break them up, I'm always going in and tweaking them. Just it could be the same drums over 50 different songs, but they'll sound like completely different drums every time.
Yep.
That's dope. I definitely have my favorite drums. And like as I'm thinking about it more, I might go to a certain set of drums depending on where I want that song to end up at. So that's funny, kind of thinking about it now. Like I'll go through a drum library and I'll hear like, yo, that's the snare. But then I think a lot of those beats probably end up kind of having the same feel to them when they're done, like evoke that same emotion, if you will.
Right.
Well, I mean, but even if, like, say you take that kick and the snare that you like so much, but you got to think the melody that you're using over it is different. So you can take that snare and start adjusting your levels of when they hit, so it won't sound as the same.
Right.
So. And then and on top of that, you can throw another snare, lower the volume on it.
Yeah.
Smash it together. And then now you got a whole nother snare.
Yeah, when I'm not being lazy, I'll layer my drums, but you catch me on any average night. What you see is what you get.
One of my favorite snares is actually me plucking my desk and snapping. I recorded me plucking my desk and snapping. Two separate tracks landing on top of each other. My favorite snare.
That's dope.
Use that shit for everything.
Here's one for you. Get the spatula, like the big.
Yeah.
The spatula, get the closed one and then get the open one. And sample those.
Okay.
I can try that shit.
That's
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
I can almost hear that in my head already too. You know what I'm saying? Like I can almost hear what that's gonna sound like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That hard enough.
And you layer that, put the Q on it. You can get some of the crispiest slap snares from just those two.
I'm gonna have to try that one.
I can hear that.
Hell yeah.
Definitely that a shot.
Damon, you muted in case you don't realize it.
What's going on with mid school? I know mid school been chiming in. Is he?
I think
he had a lot of dope questions.
Yeah, I think he signed up.
Really? Did we get any of his questions? I know he usually has some dope questions in that.
Yeah, that's the one.
They got one there.
Yeah, another one in there.
What's
Thanos theme for today. What's that?
I was asking Bear what kind of headphones he uses.
The old, mine's is DJ headphones.
Yeah, but I like,
Sony.
You catch me on the right day, you might see me DJing in the headphones I was mixing in last night.
Good old Sony V700s.
Okay.
The old schools. These joints is 20 some odd years old.
Oh.
When they were made to last. Yeah, that's when they made them to last.
Yeah. Did you say they were 20 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, headphones be going. They'll live you. They'll last a lifetime. You treat them right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because what happened? I was doing a spinoff at Guitar Center, and I had some regular cheap ass like $20 headphones. And the way they set the shit up, they put the speakers right behind you, so I couldn't hear shit. I was lucky I even placed, and then I was like, man, and then it was like that. It was like, as soon as I got out of there, I walked right over to the joint. I was like, I need to buy me some damn headphones. Mm-hmm. And went over there and grabbed these Sonys. Like you said, and it's because at that time when I bought them, you seen everybody had them on their head. Premier had them on his head. Biz had them on his head.
Okay.
Everybody was rocking them. So I was like, well, I ain't want to spend that $150 or however much they cost back then. God damn. But was what it was. Like I said, 20 years later, I still got them. So
you got the money worth out of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you treat them right. They'll last you a lifetime. You can hand them down.
No,
I don't know how old these are, but these are MDR V300s.
Yeah.
Those about probably 30 years old. I don't know.
Damn.
You can get
them.
Right.
They still work.
I remember them.
Yeah, they still work.
Mm-hmm.
You said you took a 10-year break too, right, Imperial, or somewhere around 10-year break?
Yeah, 10 to 15.
That's going to be the standard. That's the standard. That's the standard window.
Yeah.
Window.
Everybody in here. Yep.
What were you doing in that 10 to 15? What was your time spent doing in that little window?
Oh shoot, man! I'm from a accountant to a personal trainer.
Right.
Anything you can think of, manager, managing gyms, but it will always loop back to the music. If I bring a playlist in, hey, where you get this from? I put it together. Hey, you should. I'm like, yeah, I used to do that, but then I'll leave it alone. But it's literally the way I put it, like the logo on my page. It has the sword, and the design is the Phoenix. X-Men, the Phoenix. Yeah. So, because I'm literally walking around pretending, not doing what I'm doing, So that's how I came up with the logo. Yeah, because I was like, man, who am I fooling? Let me go ahead and get back here.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. What made you stop?
Well, I had to make this is why I was telling you the part where I was like, hey, if I was a little selfish, at that time point, my daughter was in the midst of being born. You know, so I'm doing shows, I'm doing everything, you know, I'm finding loopholes to still be able to do it, to even to the point where I was teaching cats how to DJ, you know. So I was like, we had to make a decision. I'm like, well, if I go this way, I won't be with my daughter.
Right.
You know, she won't be raised, you know, she'll be raised without.
Yeah.
You know, so I myself like, well, let me do the right thing, you know, go with her, raise her, right? You know, if I had hindsight, you know, you know, I would have stayed and still been in the same place, but in, you know, with a better scenario. But so, you know, I do that. That's why I go back to the one where y'all was talking about love. And I don't know if it was you running it down or Instrumental Being, where he's talking about, you know, love is a dangerous thing.
It was both of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
you know, now I'm pit up against, hey, you know, something I created with something that I've been creating. You know, so I'm like, well, I've been doing that. I should still be able to do it.
Right.
But this is something I literally created. So let me take care of that. You know, but in hindsight, again, you know, I was like, if I would have been selfish just for that moment, it would have been in the same scenario, but better.
Right.
On both sides, you know. So, do I regret it? Nah. A piece of me, as you're human, you're gonna regret it. Because you're gonna like, look at what happened.
What could have been.
You know, all the phone calls I remember having, hey, we about to start this group. You're gonna like it. It's kind of like disco, hip hop, a little funk. Oh, yeah, cool. What you gonna call it? Neptunes. Oh, yeah, that sounds dope. Too bad it ain't there. Yeah, go ahead and finish your Sony meeting. You know, so, but like I say, when I did that, at the same time, I had to come to a realization. You know, when I thought back to my mom, you know, that said, hey, you want to learn that? Do it. You want to, that's what you want to do? Do it. It wasn't no like, hey, you sure you gonna be able to do that? She was more like, hey, go and do it. My pops was the same way. You know, the only thing I regret out of all of it is like they never got to see me do a concert, a show. You know, they always heard the music, but they never seen me.
Okay.
You know, so, but that's probably like the only drawback of it is when I stopped, the other part that was eating at me is like, hey, you gave up. Or you stopped doing what your mama set you on the path to do because you wanted it. You know, here's the key to it. See how far you can go. You know, so, but that was the thing, you know, like, you know what? It's time to get back on it. You know, turn the keys on, you know, get it cranking, see how far you can take it again. You know, so, but yeah, man.
That's dope.
That's why, hey, that love's a dangerous thing, boy.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you made it back because you've been inspiring the hell out of this crew, man. You've been lacing the MCs something crazy. Yeah. I mean, shit, you the first one that got me back to do a rhyme in I don't know how long. So that fucked me up.
Oh no, when you say that, that's what I say. Hey, man, shit, that's inspiring me. You know, I mean, even those little trinkets like that, I'd be like, all right, spark up another one. You ain't sleep yet. Spark up another one. You know, that's why I'll dump out as many tracks as I did. I'll post what number I am, what number I'm on. It's up there. Within the year, it's because there's a few cats, you know, obviously not everybody gonna know me, but it's a few cats, you know, on IG that's out there, you know. He's like, hey man, you got a few tracks. You know, you see me and I laughed. So I screenshotted him a picture. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was like, "Yeah, I made that in 8 months." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hey, I'm really just getting into it, you know, getting, up there. But yeah, we definitely have to work, So
yeah.
But I mean, if you ain't creating, I mean, you take the Book of Five Rings. How they look at that. If you ain't trying, you die. So,
right.
You can lay dormant and be like, try to fool yourself. You don't want to. Yeah, right. So,
do you have a set number of beats you try to make per day or per week, or you just kind of, when it hits you, you just get to it?
Well, I don't have a set number, but I make sure it hit me. I don't wait for it. Like, oh man, I don't feel like making a beat. I'm like, well, if I'm not making it, look what I could be missing out on, or what I could create. So I'll take I'll allow myself 4 tracks a week to not finish. Mm-hmm. So to create that idea, so because I mean, if you waiting to be motivated, I mean, look, you're sitting in front of a computer or a box, I could do that watching TV, but watching the TV ain't unless you're getting paid to watch TV, but that. Hey,
I feel like you're talking directly to me, bro.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing.
I'm starting to feel away, yo.
I keep telling y'all, less taking pictures, more getting to work. Let's go.
Right. He said waiting to be motivated. That's funny. That is funny as hell. Yeah,
it's true though, man. Like,
it's true, very true. Yeah.
Like I'll be in the studio, man, like the TV will be on. I look over my shoulder.
I mean, but that, like, even if you don't feel motivated, to create something, which, I mean, there's always going to be a time.
Yeah.
That's when I'll either, if I get, I don't do it now, but I used to get burned out. When I got burned out, I'll make something completely opposite of boom bap.
Okay.
I might make acid jazz. I might make some Coldplay or sing on or something,
Okay. Right.
But, just to get me in that zone, because you don't know what you're going to create. And you make yourself that little cheat sheet of that idea. You can always convert it. Music is music. You can always convert that idea to that style of track.
Yeah. Do you, when you in those moments, do you ever give yourself I don't want to say a time limit, but do you ever impose I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes and then whatever I come out with is just what I come out with, but to kind of put your feet to the fire?
Well, usually I don't.
Because it only takes me 6 minutes to make a beat. I don't need 10 minutes.
But what I'll do, I can tell, when you get fatigued, all right, hey, throw the towel in, dude. Come on, I got this right here. I'll take this, let that joker, hey, if I don't create something by the time this hit to the bottom, this is probably about 10 minutes.
Okay, I was about to say,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, if I don't create something in this time and I know I'm fatigued, my brain ain't gonna operate.
That's one, and the reason I asked, one of the best beat making experiences I ever had, me and LeVar, actually, he came to my house, LG. We set up in the studio and we just threw a bunch of BPMs in the hat. And then we pulled a BPM out, and then the BPM kind of had 120 BPM poppy sound of music, and then we set a timer to 10 minutes, and whatever you come out with it, and I'm not about to say any of them joints was I'm about to hit Katy Perry. I'm gonna see if she want to rock on it, but I came out and like, yo, a lot of this stuff was dope because I didn't have time to second guess myself. Yeah. I got to a point where I knew what I wanted to do, and I just went for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that'd be something to be dope to do on one of these calls one day.
That's kind of what I was getting at. It was just doop, doop, drop the seed, a little water. Oh, they get it now. So, but yeah, you know. But seriously, like, so that's dope that you have that 10-minute thing because it's kind of that same concept, right?
Yeah.
You know, I might not be there. Turn this on if I don't get nothing out of it. I know it's time to hang it up for the night or whatever.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, you're stuck with yourself. At some point, you got to realize, hey, it's like driving. I done knocked out 3 times. Time for me to pull over. You know, so I'm close, but I think I can make it home. So you know, you turn that on, boom. I look down at that, and I know it's, hey, I ain't made something. All right, hang it up. Tomorrow's another day. You know.
There you go.
Now, how about like Damon? What's your style like? If you writing, do you try to write a complete verse once you sit down, or do you just get whatever comes out and then get back to it when you feel it? Do you do both of them?
Nah, it's kind of like the same way y'all make beats. Sometimes I'll go back to it.
Okay.
Depending on what I'm trying to do with it. But most of the time, yeah, it depends. Most of the time, I stop on a word or inflection, and then try to see what that feeling.
Okay, right till nothing else comes. Or do you do like a few lines at a time? Like, do you like, okay, I got 4 lines and just bang them out and then put that away and come back, or is it all over the place?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think about what the next to try to stay with the story. I'm trying to like show a couple of guys how to do that now because they're very lyrical, but they tend to write their freestyle, so to speak, which you know, and you know they're ending up, you know, the cars and Mars and bars and stuff like that, which is, it can sound okay. You can make cars and bars sound okay if you put something in the middle of it, but it tends to have no substance because, you know, I don't know who they are as a person, so what I do is, you know, I might write a line on my smoke break for 5 minutes, just one word or something like that. Or I can remember the first line that usually with Imperial, when I hear his reels, it'll be the first line. And I'll say it in my head for the first probably like 6 bars because I know how long it might be for the reels. So I'll think about it, but then to write it out sometimes I'll end up going a different angle. So I think, what's the last one? Time Slip? I think it had Time Slip. So the first thing that came in the head was time, like doing time. So the first line was woke up inside of a cell, like a turtle inside of a shell. And then I just went time slipping off my fingernails or something like that. But that's what I thought, right? But I was actually, like I said, I'll let that loop on the way home on the 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, you shouldn't do this. I'll ride and write. You know what I'm saying?
I used to do that.
I'll write at the stoplight sometimes and stuff like that. So I keep the pad with the pen holder.
Okay.
And a marker. So, and I can write like graffiti style, so you can write big words on it. So sometimes when I'm driving, I'm writing at the same time, like physically writing. If it's that good, you know what I'm saying?
I've been there.
So, but I said that because even though I thought that was dope. I'm like, man, time inside of a cell, da 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 da. But I didn't use none of that. I just used that spirit. Now, what I actually
I wrote this bam ass rhyme. I ain't used none of that shit though. I just want a whole different route. Yeah, dope, but I want a whole different, a doper route.
Time slipping off my fingernails, trying to hold on to the third rail. That's how that whole thing ended. I'd have used that emotion, And then so what I really wrote to that reels, when I got home today, I wrote to the reels. The first line was, I digress. I go, damn, shit. I digress, but still invested. Damn, I digress, but still invested. Text messages turn to bars. And Oh, I digress, but still invested. Text messages turn to bars. Something about the Lion King, Mufasa was really scarred. And then it went into a whole thing like that. But that emotion.
Right behind you, man. I'm tired tonight, B. I'm hurting over this joint, boy.
So the actual writing is from that original turtle time slipping inside of a shell and all that stuff. So it's a process, kind of like that's why I'm just listening at this point, because y'all techniques is kind of similar to writing at the same time for me, but not for so much, which is why I'm trying to show maybe one or two guys that are trying to rhyme, like younger cats and stuff like that. So
Dominion I think it was Dominion Cyphers asked a question last week about how do people approach writing verses. So it's interesting to hear you say, like, so do you always try to come up with that first line?
No, don't try to, but it'll have to pull it out. It'll have to be natural. The first line is always natural.
See, first lines for me are the absolute fucking devil. Like if I look at a piece of paper and I had to come up with it, like nothing will ever get written. So what I usually do, I'll try to write like the second and third bar.
Okay.
Right? And then once I kind of do that, then I'll go back and say, all right, how do I get there? And then try to go from there. But like, if I just sit there and like, I'm listening to something, I'm like, I don't have any idea how to start this. But if I just like, I'm listening, I'm vibing, I kind of catch a feeling, I'll try to write 2 or 3 bars, and then I'll go back like, all right, because I know I'm gonna be able to continue from wherever that second, third, fourth bar end at. Finishing ain't gonna be the problem. It's starting this mofo is gonna have me struggling. So I'll do that, and then I'll try to go back and think, how can I get to that point so I can continue?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
wow.
That's why Butterscotch Linens was so. I'm like, oh my God, the referee. He was like, I'm in this mofo.
He gave you your first line easy, huh?
Yeah, but like, so but when they asked that question, I was like, yo, that's interesting. And then like a bunch of people was chiming in with how they approach it. I'm like, man, it's like any other thing. It's a zillion different ways that people find that motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's interesting to hear you kind of talking about sharing them jewels with like the cats you working with, right? Because like that's like that. Your ability to sell whatever it is like kind of your superpower in my book. Like when I listen, I'm like, I believe that shit. I ain't know what the fuck you talking about, but I believe it. Yes, just talk to him, Demond. Get him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of dope to hear you saying that about like, you know, the other cats, man. That's fresh.
Yeah, but it's dope to hear y'all say, like you said, I mean, we've always stayed with probably 6 to 7 people up until I was probably, I don't know, 17 or 18. So we always had a house full. So any type of equipment would come up missing. The keyboard, the drum machine. Like when I was telling y'all, the last time I tried was like when I had the house with, you know, with the family and everything. And that didn't work out. And that was like one of the first things she got rid of was like, I got rid of the computer and shit. I'm like, damn, the computer, really? I'm like, man, I can't win with these beats, trying to produce and make beats and still try to rap. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be a rapper. So maybe I did apply some of these things that y'all talking about to like actually writing, because I try to stay away from making beats. As far as fight, you know what I'm saying? You know, real producers stay away from, like, they're not writers or something, but they have an input on how writing should be. That's why I asked them that question. So
yeah, I remember working with a young boy, and kind of that same thing. Like it's wild when you can hear what should or shouldn't happen, and other people are open to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, so you still writing the actual notebook?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You said you do two shot when you write, or
what's that?
You still write the actual notebook as well?
I did when I did those rhymes last year, but normally I'm doing it in the phone now, and that's probably why I don't say rhymes most of the time, because trying to read on that tiny screen, it's frustrating to me when I still can't get my style together. So off the paper last year, it was beautiful though. I loved how that felt. Every rhyme I did, after I finished it, I tore it out and threw it in the fireplace.
Really?
What?
Yeah, that was liberating, man. I used to hold on to everything. I threw away bags of rhyme books last year, man. I threw away everything. Man, I was like, yo, I'm just tossing everything. This will force me to have to start fresh and force me to have to do new, man. I was holding on to too much stuff, man.
What about you, Q? Were you a notebook dude when you kind of, I don't even know how long it's been, but like.
I was both. So funny thing is back in, when I first started middle school, my mother passed down her word processor to me. So it was like it was a really big, but little like machine, like computer, but it was specifically made, it was like a typewriter replacement.
Yeah, word processor.
Yeah, so I had one of those, and that's how I started writing my shit. But I also had 2 notebooks that I carried at all times. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it depended on my mood and how high I was, which is still kind of the case.
You see, I had rhyme bags. I had bags with like pieces of brown paper bags, pieces of McDonald's bags, napkins. I had rhyme snippets, and I would patch rhymes together and pull rhymes together from all that stuff. So,
oh, you that type of, okay, all right.
I was that dude.
All right.
Yeah. I think I still got one bag full of old rhymes left. It probably has some of that stuff up in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have some old notebooks. Actually, I think it's one in my car. My wife saw it Monday when we was going to the funeral. She was like, "What's that?" I was like, "It's probably some trash." She's like, "No, I think it's a notebook." I was like, "Oh wait, whoa! I mean, that's probably trash too." But let me look at that joint. But now, like, and it's funny you said that, Sha. Like, I'm the phone or the computer now. But I do a lot of voice notes. Like if I'm driving. So not quite as bad as the mom, but kind of along that same line, right? If I'm driving, I grab the phone and kind of whatever is like coming to mind. Because like when I was younger and like the first voice recorders, when they were standalone joints before they was in your phone, like, you know, I would just ride in the car and just freestyle whatever, you know, kind of came to mind and then go back and listen to them, but still in the notebook. I should, cause like I do realize like trying to read from the phone sometimes like this, and I like, the other thing is I don't really memorize my rhymes like I used to before I record them. So I'll get the delivery how I want it, but not necessarily memorize the rhymes.
There's a difference too.
It's definitely a difference.
Was I telling you, Sha, when I think we were having a conversation about like the way that I'll write something over and over in my head. And so I get to a point where I actually memorize some of the lines before I start writing shit down. But for my cheat though, my cheat is that I use a point of reference. Like it's I'm always referencing something that I've either done or something that a situation that I related to that I used for a jump off point. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if y'all listened to the shit that I posted to share just a little snippet of what I was doing. But like for that, like I started it off saying I write about smacking cats and then call it action scripting. And so the way that came about is because I used to write code, which was action script, was the code that I used to write, which was for Flash development as a developer. So I used that to kind of to fall into the rest of it. So like action script sounds like you could, you know, if I'm writing about it, I'm smacking cats with it, you know what I'm saying? But it was really just a code language. So that's when I went into the syntax and diction. You know what I'm saying? Because I was mixing my code brain and my lyric brain. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm gonna have to go back and listen now. Yeah, see, that's the stuff, like, and that's what always gets me about kind of getting to talk to people about what they wrote. You know what I'm saying? Because it's rare that it's what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, and you know, sometimes it really is just that black and white, but a lot of times it's like, yo, it's so much deeper than what.
And so I told you, like, for that particular verse, I was playing off the hi-hats as well. So you'll hear a lot of sibilance in what I'm saying. So like I'm saying a whole lot of shit with a lot of S's, and like it's just it's there's a lot of that sibilance in there. So I'm playing with the hats in my rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So what's I write about smacking cats and they call it action, script, and syntax and diction. What these rap cats have been missing is something to substance versus gag, clapping, and pimp and listen. I form a sentence by simply spitting sickness and seven vertebrae, splitting cerebrums like decisions. Hold up. You know, like I was playing with using like actually being a hi-hat myself.
Yeah, I'm about to send you after Billy Clinton, fam. Yeah, get your shit together, yo. Hey, yo, go avenge my death, bro. I need you to go avenge my death. I'm about to send you after Billy Clinton, homie. Go avenge my death. I got you and Demond going out, yo. Watch.
You got that. You got that.
We about to jump him. We about to jump him.
Hey, I thought it was over until I heard about this bracket. I don't know, man.
Huh?
I thought it was over with for me until I heard about this bracket.
Nah, man, they've been talking about the bracket, but I think they were just trying to get some other people in it.
And Imperial, did you ever dabble in the arts of rap yourself? Like,
oh yeah, in the beginning,
get into it.
Yeah, in the beginning, you know, that helps with the beats also. So, you know, getting in the pockets, coming up with, you know, different cadences, and then, you know, you take your little pieces and bits, you know. Yeah, I did a few, but then I was like, still like this scratching, still like this beats though. So,
there you go.
Where you at now, Imperial? You back in Georgia or you up north?
No, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in
Massachusetts?
Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you in scary town.
Well, on the outside of it, not in the heart of it.
My 2 trips to Boston were, woo, yeah. They were looking at me like, a black guy in this bar?
Y'all got Patrice O'Neal from up there, man.
Huh?
Y'all got Patrice O'Neal from Boston, man.
Boston? Yeah, I'm a Celtics fan too, so I don't, you know, I don't really mind it too much. I don't go up there that often either, though.
But you from Georgia originally, right?
Yeah, I was born there, but I was raised in Long Island, Smithville, New York.
Okay.
But like I said, I haven't been everywhere.
Yeah.
Just about everywhere.
So when you was in VA, was you up like Richmond area?
No, I was in Virginia Beach, North.
Oh, the beach in Norfolk. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. You said
what years were you down there?
In the Neptunes and them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 90, about 94. About 94.
I just left it for 94.
Yeah,
I was there from 92 to 94. I went to Hampton for a minute.
Okay, yeah. I did a show in Hampton Coliseum.
Yeah, wow.
Old Dominion. Did a few there in Old Dominion. And then what was Afram? Did a couple
the Afram Fest?
Yeah.
In Norfolk at the park. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I moved to Virginia Beach in 2000.
Yeah.
So probably right after you left.
Oh, yeah.
And we all leaped up out after each other.
Yeah, actually, that's where I'm at now. I'm in Chesapeake right now.
Okay. Yeah.
For work. So yeah, I'm holed up in the hotel.
Yeah. So how did you meet Chad then? Was it around that time? It was around that time in '94 then?
Yeah, it was around that time. I think either I did a show or I was hosting like a DJ battle or something.
Yo, we might have almost crossed paths down there too now, I think, because the Buddha Brothers were on the radio back then. We went down there. So we went down there one time to meet Pharrell. My crew's old manager knew Pharrell. So we went down there to meet him. He actually did some music for my man Lord. He actually replayed some of the songs that Lord had made with samples or whatever. And I got to tape this all torn up now, but with him rhyming with my man Lord. So it's dope that you got a little connection there too. It's funny. We could have been down in the same place at the same time.
I was on 103 Jam.
Same people. Wow. Yeah.
When did you leave down here, Imperial?
Crazy.
Probably 90, 98, 99.
So right before I got here. But yeah, when I moved here, the Buddha Brothers was like the dish on the radio. Yeah. I actually got
a long time down there.
I actually got one of the. They had a good run. I got one of the. They had a hot little song, yo. They had a couple joints, but they had one that I really loved. I got it on a CD somewhere, but yeah.
It's funny that you bring the Buddha Brothers up. I think that was one of the last interviews I did.
Yeah.
Word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back then.
I was on 103 jams with them.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, I used to do Saturdays.
All right. So did you know DJ B? You know B?
Yep. DJ B. Yeah.
Did you know Puff?
Nah, Puff, I don't think so.
Okay.
It was me and Mick Benzo.
Okay, Mick Benzo. I don't really know him, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he links me with Big Pun and Fat Joe at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what time period were you on? Were you on with them? What years was that?
It had to be like almost a year before, so probably 97.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it was definitely before 97 when we went down.
Yeah. Lollapalooza, all kind of shows. Yeah.
You got a lot of history, man.
That's funny to hear, though, yo. That's hilarious, yo.
Yeah, I met half of who I met. That's how I met. What's his name? Sean Price.
Okay.
You know,
Buckshot.
Yeah. Well, I didn't meet Buckshot. It was what's the white cat name?
Drew High.
Yeah, Drew High. They heard me on
always
the
get the pussy because I tell them that I'm Spanish. Yo, that line is so ill, yo. Oh, I love Drew High, yo. Drew High is hilarious, yo.
That's great.
Yeah, they would send me all kind of anything boot camp click made. They would send it to.
Yeah, boot camp. Yeah, boot camp definitely up there.
Boot camp, Wu-Tang.
There's some cool dudes too, yo. I'm sure they still are.
Oh.
Let me ask you, like when you watch like things like I mean, I don't know if you watch it or something, but this the reason like the Wu-Tang series and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think they're more open to see like how many people actually added on to their story without it being so much of a superhero thing. Like when he said he bumped into Just Ice, but it crushed him, and then he had to come back and really get his jewels. That felt good, knowing that they had a story. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when you watch that, do you hear about these stories? Like now that people are more willing to, and they have an avenue to tell their story nowadays. I mean, you seem like just as much part of that background.
Oh, yeah, I did a show with them. I did one of my mixtapes again. It was called The Magic Show in California at that time. That's where all the, clothing labels come together. And, they do a little fashion show or whatever.
Okay.
And Wu-Tang, that's when they came out with that's when Kame was out. At that time frame. And, so the same cat that told the Italian guy, "Hey, period, he's right here." He called me up one day. He's like, "Hey, you hear that playing in the background?" Like, yeah, that's my mixtape. I'm thinking he in like a hotel or something. And he's like, "Nah, man, I'm at the Magic Show in California. Hey, they want you to come down and do your mixtape live. Wu-Tang here." And I'm like, "Man, get out of here." You ain't got to show your ID. And your plane ticket is already there. I was like, "What?" You know,
right, yeah.
But yeah, man. Then they had the Wu-Tang stores there. You know, when they came out with the clothing store, they started popping them up, especially in Norfolk. They had one right by the studio. Yeah, between them bumping in, we had shows. KRS-One came down. That's when Big Pun and Fat Joe had Twin out. That's how, you know, that's when I really got to meet Pun and them, and then we linked up together.
What the fuck, man? Pun is definitely
the show was crazy. The lineup was DJ Clue, Pun, Fat Joe, KRS-One, Noriega and Capone.
What? Come on, man. Oh, wow.
Redman and Method Man.
Oh, wow.
All in one show.
That's all my differences right there. That's
I'm gonna say Noriega, dude, ain't he, Damon?
I mean, all that Capone and Noriega, Big. I'm about to say Big Joe, Fat Pun and shit, but yeah. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, that Fat Pun dude was nasty, yo.
Fine, crazy, yeah, but yeah, I mean, a lot of connections, like as far as like, yeah, I like him a lot. This is just crazy, like. But
you were saying Nori was like one of your favorite MCs, right?
Yeah, Nori. Yeah, but it stemmed from that Capone and Noriega.
Yeah.
War Report.
That first album, War Report.
War Report, yeah.
That was classic.
Yeah. Because like when we was in Logan Square, which is like a predominantly Puerto Rican area, so we didn't. I mean, that was. I mean, I don't know, who would you say, like early '90s? I mean, Rico Suave, Mellow Man Ace, Cypress Hill was big. Cypress Hill, because Sendog did Latin Lingo. That Latin lingo, like that was huge. Like somebody actually like fully speaking Spanish like to it, or you had like the Booyah Trap, like. But as far as like Kid Frost,
yeah. It's for the live side.
For the live side, yeah. All right.
Mexicans gonna love it. Like, this is for the live side.
Yes.
Wait, whose kid is whose dad is what is his
Chris Rivers?
Nah, he's a producer. He produced I Wanna Rock for Snoop Dogg. What is his name?
Didn't
Anyway,
I Wanna Rock right now. Rock right now.
It's
Wait a minute, you talking about the house version, the hip hop version?
Nah, it's
no, you talking about Snoop. I'm thinking something else.
Snoop Dogg song.
The Neptunes didn't do that?
Nah. He's a West Coast producer. He also ended up running with Apathy and Ryu. They had a little group for a minute. But I was trying to remember Scoop DeVille, yeah. Who was his dad? Wasn't his dad was like Kid Frost or some shit like that?
Yeah, he was. You're right. It was Kid Frost's son. Damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I heard that. Damn, I forgot all about that shit.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those old school West Coast dudes. Is his dad? That's how he kind of had a little cheat code to get in the game like that. But he's a fucking dope ass producer.
Yeah, he's an animal.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, your memory is crazy, man. Because I remember hearing that story and I remember loving that song. I forgot the song even existed. Even after you said it, I still can't remember what.
That's like one of his worst. That's like one of his weakest beats that he's ever made. Honestly,
he was dope.
That beat is bananas, yo. That's one of his worst beats. I need to go look that dude up.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with his work at all.
And I remember I looked him up, and that's how I found out Kid Frost was his father. And I don't usually look up producers.
I'll be honest, I was never like one to really read liner notes to find out who produced stuff. Looking back, like I kind of realized that was not the smartest decision I ever made.
Man, in the days of wax, I used to read cover to cover on the wax, and the CDs I would read cover to cover too.
I would look for the lyrics. Like I would look to see Like if they had the lyrics in there, I would read them. But outside of that, and I was the odd man in my squad. Like, 'cause everybody else was like, that's probably why I know who produced a lot of stuff, because I heard about it anyway. But yeah, I was never like a real heavy liner note reader for like production and if there was writer credit.
I was reading credits, lyrics, artists. Like if it was in the booklet, I was reading that shit.
Wow.
I was studying.
I wasn't doing that. I wish I did more. Was paying more close attention to the artwork now. Like I didn't realize how dope a lot of that artwork was.
Last week's episode really, because like when Scam was talking about kind of like the famous kind of artistic drawing covers, right? I'm like, damn, I forgot that was like that. Damn, I forgot that cover was like that. Damn, I forgot that cover was like that.
And the funny thing is, like, when Shadow told me that his boy was Scam and that he was going to bring him through, I was like, yo, Scam from, like, I already knew, like, yo, this is the motherfucker that did these album covers. And I was like, oh, man, really? Yeah. And it, like, the fact that we're, like, homies now is, like, crazy to me still. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was I got a good laugh out of watching y'all kind of banter a couple of times, because like it we could kind of get what was happening, but it was still like insidish. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
So it was kind of funny. Like, I want to laugh too.
But that's also why I said I wanted to stay quiet, like a little quieter on that during that call, because I've known him for 15 years.
Yeah.
You know,
but that was definitely like, you know, to your point though, Shy, like I thought I kind of paid attention to artwork, but I realized like, yeah, I didn't really pay attention to artwork. I think like that might be one of the other reasons, like for your videos, Imperial, I'm really into them joints now, because I kind of realized I might have missed a boat with some of that. Like when people talk about the your boy from New Orleans, Master P, and kind of his squad, and like hate it or love it or otherwise, kind of like the artistic
it was like
their covers. I'm like, I had to take your word for it. I don't remember a single one of them.
Yeah, man.
Is there anybody that you wanted to work with that kind of slipped through the crack?
The outside of grade school.
Yeah.
Y'all recovered, you know. So yeah, I'm on that. I think. Well, the closest would have been Exhibit in the time frame.
Ooh, word.
Yeah, because while I was down in VA again, you know, one of my boys, he was at Exhibit was at, I guess, some club or whatever. And I'm doing my thing on the radio. And he's like, yo, who the fuck is that? And he's like, you know that guy? He's like, he's at the station now? Right. I'm heading up there, you know, so I get a call like, hey, yo, man, Exhibit want to talk to you, man. And I'm like, Exhibit? Like, Exhibit from the West Coast? You know, next thing you know, they buzz them through.
You want to pimp your beat?
Yeah, you know, he was like, you know, at that time he was looking for a DJ, you know.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's like, yo, you know, I like, hey, you know, I named off a couple of shows I did, you know. Mm-hmm. And he was like, hey, I think his manager was Swift, something. It was something with an S. I still got the book.
Swift.
It might have been something like that, but I don't think it was
a dude named E Swift in that crew, in the Liquid crew.
Yeah, he was like, yo, hey, I'm gonna fly you. Hey, get in contact with Amanda. I'll fly you out. You know, see what we can do, man. You sound like the right one. But in the same time, I was already booked to go and do other shows. And I went, one of them, I went overseas. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
Then, what was it? Pimp My Ride came out a few years after that. And I was like,
oh.
Mr. Boat.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
But,
okay.
But yeah, that would have been a good one, especially at that time.
Oh yeah,
you know, where Exhibit was at that time frame, because when it was him, and Razzcast, I think.
Yeah, they were
really
tearing stuff up.
powerful,
Yeah.
Oh, they had Golden State Warriors. They were toying with the Golden State Warriors at the time too. Exhibit,
3-card.
Razzcast, and who was the third one?
Saphir.
Saphir. Yeah,
that's how you
right,
pronounce
right.
it.
Yeah.
They had that 3-card Marley song.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, that joint was hot.
Shit, yes.
They had that, and then they had it was so ignorant. I actually used a part of Saphir's verse from like as my tagline for years. You can get surgery to look like me.
Yeah.
Is he one of the kind of the not mentioned enough West Coast MCs?
Saphir?
Yeah.
He was, but then something happened. Like something happened where it like the lyrical content and his capability just wasn't there anymore. Like when he was still part of Hobo Junction, like that was Saphir's moment. Like that shit, like the stuff that he was doing there, because he had his own style. Like everything he was doing was like really original. But then somewhere along the lines, he was like, fuck it, let me go full West Coast. And it was like, when did you become a thug? You know what I'm saying? Like it completely ruined it for me. And a lot of his fan base, I think, too.
Yeah.
But I think he deserved it.
Do we think Razzcast gets his just due? You think he's where he should be kind of on the scales?
I feel like me personally, I feel like he hasn't grown enough to still be considered there. Like if you listen to his early stuff, like yeah, definitely. But like there was some time around running from the FBI, doing time, and then getting out and releasing music again. Like he did that joint with dude from Detroit. What's his name? Apollo Brown. That was hot. Mm-hmm. But everything else was like, I don't know.
You still think he sounds like 93, 94 Raz for the most part? I think that's what I like about him the most.
Yeah.
Is it the cadence thing?
For me or for both of
them? For both of y'all. Is it the cadence?
For me, I think he's recycling the same lyrics.
Oh,
he's largely recycling that shit and that.
Yeah, like I'm, I've done a record before saying if I like you at a certain point, I'm absolutely fine with you not changing. I think that's my which probably goes heavy to your point. Like I'm almost co-signing your point in a very strange way. But, I do hear what you're saying there, but that might be why I feel like, yeah, man, he might be a little under where I think he should be. But
he definitely deserves his flowers, no doubt. He was a very important part of 90s hip hop.
And I think especially solidifying kind of that. Not so West Coast sound.
Right.
Yeah.
The lyricist.
Yeah, the lyricists on the West Coast. They were definitely on the front end of that. The lyrical movement on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Even the sounds of the beats though weren't like they were.
They were more trying to be East Coast, but they weren't the shit.
Yeah.
They weren't funk
like a mesh.
Yeah, it was a happy medium. Like it was melodic enough. The drums was hitting hard enough.
Really dark.
Boom back, but it also wasn't George Clinton. A
lot of his stuff was really dark though. Like, and I think that was part of the appeal. Was it had a dark undertone to it that really worked for his style.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't as like I don't see them playing that at the cookout they was at in Minister Society. You know what I'm saying? Like
definitely wasn't West Coast.
Fix Mr. Butler plate.
He was like one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. Like that's what his sound sounded like to me.
I buy that.
And I loved it, but he's still kind of there, and like the same. I feel like he's still saying a lot of the same stuff. Like, all right, we all read these same books, cool, but you know, there's a little bit more to the story than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
he hasn't added to the nuances or anything like that, and it doesn't really do it for me anymore. And I know it's still there because I heard the joint he did with Apollo Brown, and I'm like, all right, this is how you kill God. Like that song for me was like, all right, Razzcast is back.
It's dope.
But
so we got our weekly mid school disclaimer. So he's back.
There it is.
And we might get mid school's question of the week, man.
Yeah.
Much respect, Imperial. You know, the music you make, you and David and everybody is great, man. I just think and also the visuals. Did you guys talk about the visuals already?
Yeah.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I just want to say it's just so powerful in so many ways, man. So many ways. I would love to write some like an academic paper on how your music articulates itself not only visually but acoustically, but interactionally, as well as how you connect to the lyrics and the people. And I think how you do it also is amazing. So that then the small pieces and the split frame and having people there, I think it's just genius right there, man.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
So keep that in mind. One day I might hit you up for my collabos are like research papers, right? Academic papers. I'm gonna have the crew here, the GRYSKLL crew, articulations and ideas, and come at you and write an academic paper about your articulation of hip hop, and because it's so much there. Much respect.
Hey, much respect to you, brother. Thank you.
By the way, can I ask you, are you from New York?
No, I'm raised in piece of Long Island.
Okay, I see the Yankees hat behind you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know everybody's very tired. I don't mean to keep everybody here longer.
Yeah, I think we all kind of got a lot in, man. Imperial, is there anything else you want to share, talk about, let the world hear before we shut it down, bro?
Oh man, I mean, hey, appreciate you having me on, man. You know,
it's an honor.
Hey, the 100 miles, please. But yeah, like I say, I got a couple more heaters coming soon, though. Hopefully, I can go ahead and spread those EPs out. You know, but
full support on my crew, man. Whatever you push, man, let us know. We definitely all support it.
I got a last question for Mr. Imperial. Mr. Imperial, you've done a lot of stuff. I heard some of it. I was on the train. When it's all said and done, what would be that one project that you would most want to have the world know in terms of what you've done? Has it been done already, or is it coming on its way?
Oh, it's coming on its way. Definitely coming on its way. Yeah, like I told them before, you know, hey, I've been dormant for 10 or 15 years, you know. So now, you know, it might well just go all the way. You know, that's why I referenced the Book of Five Rings. You know, if you ain't crying, you die. You know, so yeah, it's plenty of heat coming. Plenty.
Is that Miyamoto Musashi?
Exactly, the one and only.
Yeah, I was one of the reasons why I went to Japan, because that book was so dope, and I had to read it in Japanese to make sure I really understood it. Wow. So yeah, much respect. Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
I had a little Shambhala Classics pocket version of that, and I never even finished it. So it's dope to hear y'all referring to it. I need to see if I still have my little pocket version of it now.
I love the chapter on water. That's just so dope. Yeah. Much respect, man.
So
respect, fellas.
Imperial. I'm kind of trying to break out of my shell that I've been in for 20 plus years now. So, but like listening to your shit, like I definitely want to see if I can try and hop on one of those and see if I can do something with it. It's been a long time, but I feel like, you know, I'd be stupid to not try it. You know what I'm saying? No. So,
man, you in there, man. Hey, yeah. You already. Hey, once we reference "Follow the Leader," that was already in there. Yeah, man.
Wait, so how do we go about getting a track from Imperial? Did you bless us with a track?
Plug it. You got to plug yourself, bro.
I also want to follow up with that, and hope that one day I could also jump on the track. I got stuff with Mr. Wonder Dial and Mr. Pitchfork and Damon and the crew and everybody. But after all that, keep me in mind, sir.
Oh yeah, indeed, man. You're in there.
All right.
How do we get your stuff? How do we reach you?
Easily, just hit me up. DM. Hey, I still do it old school. Hand the number out.
All right.
You know, video chat it up. You know, come up with some ideas. See what we want to do.
If somebody wants to catch you online, should they start with Instagram or TikTok? Where's your favorite spot?
Yeah, mainly Instagram. I was on TikTok one time. I got to get back hot on it though.
Yeah, it's a pain time.
After a while, I'll be tackling all of them soon though. Even the Twitch after a while.
Hey, you got 2 accounts too on IG. You got the original Stovetop Bodega?
Yeah, this one. That one. That one's gonna be the Black Cerebral. You know, where I'll probably like show more the MCs, but then probably spread the music a little bit more. You know, just to tap in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you had a plan from day one. What? Did you have like a regular Instagram account at one point, or it started day one with this?
Oh, yeah, day one. Like as soon as I bought, like I told you, I bought the machine.
Right.
Like, well, know you are an introvert, but guess what? If you can do a show or two, you might as well go ahead and get in there. You know, so but yeah.
Brilliant.
But then it changed a little bit because at first it was like me just trying to reintroduce myself to the world, you know. And then at some point I was like, you know what? Hey, MCs is starting to hit me up. You know, but hey, rhyming on my tracks, hey, why not show the little back?
That's right.
You know, so brilliant. That's why I like. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so that's why I listen to everyone, every bar, every line. That's why I started doing, like the video of the video.
Okay.
You know, because if you're catching something, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, you hear that? All right, bam. Throw that devil in, the Hell's Kitchen part in there when you did that verse. So that's why I was like, all right. Because I mean, it's mutual respect, so that's why I'm like, hey, just as much as you showing me love, I should at least show the same equal. Yeah, man.
All right, we can keep reciprocating, man. 1000%, man. Nice meeting you, man.
Yeah,
no definitely be here for me too. Yeah.
Got to get you back on.
Yeah,
definitely you sound like you got a lot more stories to share and a whole lot more insight and tips, man. We definitely got to get you back on, man. It's sad that there's not enough time to really cover everything, man.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's not a send-off, it's a welcoming. So welcome.
Yeah. Real talk. This is the first of however many, man.
And I definitely want to be there if you come back because all that comic talk, I missed it all. So
oh man, yeah.
I gotta watch this one, do my homework, I'll be ready for the next one.
Here you go, man.
Was there like a Thanos theme to that?
That's what I'm. Yes. Right.
It was accidental, but
Yeah.
Or not. Before you got on Imperial, me and Q, that's one of the first things we talked about because we talked about the Thanos shirt that I just picked up the Thanos shirt from Scam last week. So yeah, it's definitely a theme somehow, man. I don't know how it happened, but it's definitely a theme, bro.
Oh yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming out, bro.
All right.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Okay, you too.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate it again, bro.
Yeah.
Much love. Peace.
All right, bro. Take care.
Peace.